start.
Welcome back to the College Heights Huddle, guys. I'm here with Peyton Reid, sports reporter, and Malone, farmer. Title?
Commentary writer,
Everything.
podcast producer.
Keep going.
Austin, did you say your title?
No, I'm Austin Rice. I'm the sports editor
Yeah.
here at the College Heights Herald. We're going to talk about some men's and women's basketball to start it off. Also, our final recording.
Yeah, before
Not
spring
ever,
break.
but-
No, it's over. This is the end. We finally got a new set and new mic stands,
I
and we're
know.
ending it now.
This is probably the best it has ever looked,
Yeah.
I agree.
and I love to see it.
But we're
Not to-
taking the week off.
Not to pat myself on the back, but, you know.
I did most of it.
yeah.
I don't
It was
know what
mostly
you did.
Peyton, actually.
Yeah, I don't know what Malone did, but we'll let them have it.
We'll let him have this.
This will be the last recording. There won't be an episode next week.
No, they're wrong.
Fun fact.
I'm gonna do one emergency podcast. Just by
Emergency
myself.
podcast. Are you
And
gonna?
it's gonna
edit
be on
it?
like an iPhone.
You shaking.
Yeah.
Yes, a very disappointing week of basketball.
There was so much hope.
There was, but not enough results, honestly. Men's lost to Missouri State and FIU, both games on the road to end the season. They won 6 straight, and then they go lose to the bottom half of the conference.
2 straight road games to end the season. You thought, okay, they're getting some momentum. They could make it to that 2 seed potentially.
I thought they were going to. I held out hope.
Because Sam Houston, they had a tough schedule.
Yeah.
But you can go out and lose the final 2 games. Very tough ending. It's not over yet.
No.
They're going to play in the Conference USA tournament against Kennesaw State, but they end up getting the 3 seed,
But
which is really
they
unfortunate.
haven't beaten Kennesaw State. That is the issue. They've played them twice, lost 81-65 the first game, and then lost by 3 the second game. So definitely a challenge.
Yeah, I mean, you thought this team was going to, like, they were getting momentum, and then in that game against FIU especially, there was just it was really bad. Not a lot went right for them, and
Yeah.
there's not a lot of confidence you can have going into the tournament after that performance. Missouri State, you could just be like, I mean, they had lost 7 in a row going into the game. But you could think, like, okay, one bad performance. So they come back against FIU. They've won 7 of their last 8 games. They could do something. But you go out and lose that game, too, in even less convincing fashion.
Yeah, it was definitely, but FIU wanted it more. If they lost, they were out. Weren't going to Huntsville. It was a win or go home game for FIU, and they showed
played like
that they can win games. FIU won 92-67, held WKU to 36% shooting, which is the worst they've shot in this 8 game span. So not a very it was awful. But Tegan Moore played 15 minutes that game. Went down. It looked like he was holding his hip. But I'm hoping that nothing really happened and he'll be back because they're going to need him to beat Kennesaw State.
That's the real point where, like, man, you can't feel too good about their chances in the tournament because it's really like, oh, they don't have Tegan Moore.
Yeah.
If they don't have Tegan Moore, we've seen how the team plays without him. They got a couple big wins. They beat Middle Tennessee without him, but
they did.
they look like a completely different team without Tegan Moore. And without him there, you can't feel great about their chances, especially against a Kennesaw State team that owned them this season, the regular season. But, hey, I mean, they have been up and down all season, so hopefully we're heading towards the up yet again.
Yeah, but I mean,
They have a chance to win 4 in a row. They've done it before.
I think there's a good possibility they can do it again, but they have a tougher road now than they would have if they were a 2 seed. But you can tell by their record that in Conference USA, the teams were beating each other up. They finished 11-9, which is good enough for 3rd. So with a 9-loss team being 3rd in the conference, that just shows the competitiveness that they're going to have come Huntsville.
Yeah, Conference USA was, I wouldn't say a complete bloodbath this season, but it was insane how many teams were just right in that middle stretch. Because Liberty, they ran away with it pretty early on. Sam Houston kind of rose from the middle, went on a big winning streak, got the 2 seed, but every other team, like WKU, got the 3 seed by the skin of their teeth.
They did, yeah. It was. I looked at it. Louisiana Tech was up there for a second. Kennesaw State was up there until I think the last second as well. Teams that, in I believe a game or so, separated Kennesaw State and WKU, and that's 3 spots in the tournament that, like, the 3rd spot and the 6th spot, but they're only separated by a game, so it's definitely competitive.
The thing is, if you go and like look at the tournament, if they can beat Kennesaw State, they've beaten Sam Houston before this season.
Yes.
We've seen them play well against them. If they can get to that Sam Houston game with Tegan Moore healthy, they have a chance to get it. We've seen them beat Liberty. I mean, that was the most impressive win of the Hank Plona era.
Yeah, I think that jumps off the page as this team can actually do something.
Yeah.
Even though Liberty has faltered since that loss. I think they lost 2 more games, but they snapped their undefeated conference streak.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, they're just a very up and down team, and if Tegan Moore can get back to where, you know, he needs to be, I don't know exactly the extent of the injury. I don't want to speculate on it at all, but
I don't think there's anything, but the 15 minutes jumped out to me as why is he not playing, even though
it also could be because they were down by a lot. They didn't want to put him back out there and risk something. But if there is something serious, and does not bode well for them at all. But it'll be interesting to see where they're at come Thursday, because that'll be a very tough game against Kennesaw State, very hard-fought game.
And then they have to play until Saturday if they want to go to March Madness.
Yeah.
But switching gears now to women's basketball.
I get to talk now.
You do. Yes, Malone.
Hi, I'm the women's basketball commentary writer. That's the other one I didn't say earlier.
Forgot about that one.
Yeah.
Too many times.
You're not kidding. The season is over for women's basketball.
It is.
They fell to Missouri State in a really, really disappointing loss. And this was a must-win for them. They had to win this game if they wanted to go to the conference tournament. They needed to win out the season. And even then, it wasn't 100% certain that they would get to go to the conference tournament. And so, I don't know, it's a little disappointing, mainly because the team struggled so much in that early stretch, pretty much the beginning of the regular season to about halfway, if not more, through Coosa play. But they really brought it together at the end. With the exception of that Missouri State game, they were playing like a whole different team. I really thought that they could pull it together. They fought the number 2 team in the conference in FIU to a 4-point differential, and for the lowest ranked team in the conference to do that, I think is very impressive. But it's still pretty disappointing to see this performance from them. This is, I think, one of the saddest things with the lowest 2 seeds in Coosa not going to the tournament, because I strongly believe that WKU is a better team than New Mexico State. I think they're a better team than UTEP. I think they're honestly probably a better team than Kennesaw State.
Yeah.
And, like, 2 of those teams are going to the conference, and WKU is not.
I would say they're a better team at this moment than those teams.
Yeah.
It's just there was a stretch of the season when they had so many injuries and just stuff going on.
They're a team that I think is a prime example of your record not reflecting your playing ability.
Yeah.
Because, like, when that team was on, like, against FIU, Trinity Rowe put up 24. She shot 6 for 7 from the 3-point line. She would just off dribble shoot.
Yeah.
And it went in. She looked like Steph Curry. It was crazy.
I feel like earlier this season when Trinity Rowe went down with that hand injury, that really exposed their lack of depth in the guard position, which ultimately cost them their record. because they finished 8-22 around that mark.
Something like that, yeah.
I think they are a better team than that, but they just didn't have the depth that they needed.
They're losing a lot of people after this season to graduation.
6 seniors.
6 seniors, 2 of which started like almost all of the season.
Yeah.
Tia Schelling, who provided when Trinity Rowe was down, even when she was up, she provided a lot of the missing depth in that guard position. She didn't get a lot of playing time before this, and really outplayed expectations of her. Zofia Talegdi, who was a core member of the team, really important to their success. She's also graduating.
It's going to be sad to see her go because she was a baller. Like,
Yeah.
when she was on, like, she had, I believe it was like 22 in the tournament last year, Conference USA tournament, that final game. And it was her and the girl from Middle Tennessee State that won, I believe, Conference USA Player of the Year before.
Yes.
And it was just, they looked like equals on the court.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they were battling.
Zofie is a baller, and I hope that I assume her plan is to go back to Hungary and continue playing there because she played professionally there.
Yeah.
And I think she'll do really well there. I think she's a really good basketball player, but it's sad to see her go because she was a huge part of this team for several years.
Yeah.
Well, even last year when your 4 other starters graduate or transfer out, she decided to stay and get basically a whole new team.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
She stayed and welcomed everyone and was that leader. So it's definitely unfortunate to see the season go that way, especially when it went so well for her last season.
Yeah.
But let's just...
I do think, as much as it's kind of scary, like looking at the team's future with where they're at, player-wise, they have a really good young core right now. Almost all of their best players, with the exception of Tia Schelling and Zofia Talegdi, are sophomores.
Yeah.
Trinity Rowe and Salma Kador,
what a great 1-2.
Oh my God!
To put together.
Great offensive options. Trinity Rowe is an amazing playmaker. She's an amazing facilitator. She is, as much as I think Zofie was this kind of senior presence on the team, Trinity was that team's leader. She was calling plays on the court. She was directing everything. When she was healthy, she was playing almost every minute of the basketball game. And I think for good reason. She is the core. She's the core of the team from a playing IQ level. And Salma Kador is a great offensive option. I think something interesting about this season is you saw so many people who were on the team before who didn't get to do anything do a lot. Tia Schelling had been there for a while. She didn't get any playing time before. And she had to compete with Alexis Mead for playing time. And she's a huge part of this team's offense. She's a menace. She was she would steal the ball out of your hands. It was crazy. It was crazy to watch her force so many turnovers. She was really good at it. And Salma Kador is another example of someone who was on the team last year who didn't get a lot of minutes, didn't get a lot of valuable playing time, and just really came out and was a huge part of this team. She was the leading scorer on the team, averaging 10.4 points a game. Trinity Rowe just barely at the end was able to get right up there next to her with 10.2. But Salma was just the more consistent option.
Yeah.
Part of it is because of Trinity's injuries. That was definitely an issue. But Salma was also she's good. She's a good player. Tori James is another huge part of the team, offensively and defensively.
Even if she's not scoring, I feel like she's always jumping out of the gym.
Yes,
she's making the hustle plays.
Yeah.
Yes,
a lot of the time.
she is always. And I was telling beat reporter Adriana Lynn about this when we were watching the FIU game. I was like, when she gets her mid-range shot down, it's over. She will be just such a threat offensively. That's her biggest issue is is the accuracy of her shots. So once I think she gets that down, I think she'll be doing great.
Yeah.
But I don't know. The team's in a tricky spot right now. Greg Collins returns for another season. Which,
he does.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how to feel about it.
It's a weird situation, but also I think it gets to a certain point where you have 2 seasons ago they go 15 and 17.
Mm-hmm.
They got hot at the end of that year, and it goes into last year. They went 23 and 7, something like that.
Yeah.
It was something like that.
Or it was like 22 and 9,
Yeah.
I believe. 22 and 9.
And then this season they go 8 and 22, go a month and a half without winning a basketball
Yeah.
game, which is the most important part of basketball is winning. And
Yeah.
then
They won 2 games outside of Diddle Arena.
yeah,
Pretty sure it was 2 games. No, 3 games. They won 3 games
Yeah.
outside of Diddle
They
Arena.
won 1 away game in conference.
Yeah. Not good.
Yeah,
So-
but Delaware has to wear that now.
Yeah, that is true. That was such a fun game, by the way.
Oh,
it
that Delaware
was.
that was
game.
exciting.
Fun when the final score happened.
Yeah. That final quarter was so tense.
Yeah, it was.
But
Because they lost that game, they were out of the race. But
yeah, I don't know.
Reading Todd Stewart's, the athletic director's, like saying Greg Collins is going to come back, reading it kind of made sense as to why he's staying at least another year.
I understand.
But when you're not winning basketball games, not a lot of people are going to want to go see you play
Yeah.
or come to your program.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like this offseason, they don't have a center or a power forward.
No,
now,
they-
'cause
And a lot of that will come from the transfer
Yes.
portal as well.
Yeah.
They're going to replace a lot of players.
Their only center also graduated,
Yeah.
Jennifer Silva.
So they're rebuilding. I think
Yeah.
is the best
Yeah.
term for it, I guess.
They're rebuilding, but it's not great to see in the 9th year
Yeah.
of the head coach that you're going through another rebuild. But I mean, I can understand it from the perspectives like this is Western Kentucky
Mm-hmm.
University. But also, women's basketball has been one of the most consistent programs.
They're historically one
Historically
of the greatest
really good.
programs at
One of the
WKU.
yeah, one of the best non-power 4 like women's basketball programs because they've made 4 Final Fours,
Yes.
1 championship game appearance in the 90s.
And then the WNIT, obviously
Yes.
not the top tier, but they make waves. They've made waves in that tournament as well.
Yeah.
A lot of the players seem to really love Coach Collins, which I think is the most important part. I think if the players are happy with him, as much as I understand and to a degree agree with the idea that maybe a new face would be good, Trinity Rowe seems really happy with him. And if she's happy and she continues to stay with the team, I'm happy with that. I'm fine to see her continue.
I feel like it'll be telling come when the transfer portal officially opens
Mm-hmm.
who stays and who goes, because truly they can say they're happy, but we don't know what's happening.
Yeah, and I think
Behind
next
closed
season
doors.
is going to be, there's a lot of pressure
They-
on next
yeah.
season to deliver. And I think you've got to make some waves in the Conference USA tournament. You
Yeah.
have to make that championship game, get to that second week, or second game
Yeah.
right before the semifinal game. I just think there's a lot of pressure on next season, and Collins has to do a lot in the
Yeah.
transfer portal to replace everybody. I mean, you have some good young guards
They have
that you can do something with.
they
but
have at least 3 freshman guards coming in
yeah.
that are really good.
Which is cool,
So-
but they need
They need size.
they need size. They need people with height because they've lost 2 of their tallest players. 2 of their only players that are tall and also played well in the post in Jennifer Silva and Zofia Talekti.
And they still got out rebounded most games. Like
Yeah,
they were out
Every game,
rebounded.
I feel like
It was can't remember the official number, but
I feel like
it was most games.
It was
there was only
most
like
games,
7
yeah.
games they out-rebounded their opponent.
Like, their opponents out-rebounded them on offensive rebounds by like a significant margin. I don't know. I hope that Collins is able to put together a really good program for next semester. I can speak as a commentary writer and saying I want to see them succeed. And maybe Greg Collins is the way to do that, and maybe he's not.
I also think you can't fully blame Collins because at the end of the day, if shots aren't falling, he can't make them go. He can't make them go in. And if your team's not hustling for the rebound, not wanting it more, there's only so much he can do. He can't go out there and do it for them.
Yeah.
Also, an interesting thing about the Greg Collins, he's coming back and everything, is that a portion of his contract is now going to NIL. And we know, like, college sports today is all about NIL and just, players are now kind of not getting bought per se, but they are, money is becoming more and more of a factor into where players go and everything. But it's very interesting because I haven't really heard of a school doing this very often where they have like a portion of a team's contract. But I think this is my understanding is that, if Collins can get more money towards NIL, even out of his own contract, if they can put all this money towards getting a roster for next season, I really think he's in a no excuses phase for next year where everything is riding on this year. If he can get back to like a good finish in the regular season,
I think if they can finish top 5 in conference,
I think so too. Because then you have hope for the future, and you're like, hey, we're going toward the right direction with a lot of still young players. So I just really think like, hey, we're going to give you more money for NIL. This is what you got to be able to do something with it and set some stuff up. So I think that's where we're at for,
I also think it just shows how much he cares about the program.
Yeah, absolutely.
What coach takes their paycheck and it just doesn't, you don't see it. I think if they do this and they become successful, it'll pay off because if they continue to be successful, that's more money for him. Yeah. For Greg Collins. So it's definitely
Collins wants to win.
Yeah.
I'll give him that. He definitely wants to win. Yeah. We'll have David in here for some baseball. He'll be here with me because I covered softball and Peyton as well on Sunday. So I'll be here with David. Take it away, guys.
Yeah. Have fun, David.
Thank you, Austin, Malone, and Peyton for that fantastic men's and women's basketball segment. That was really, really cool. I like the part when I was talking, not the rest of them. I'm here again with
David Quintanilla, Spanish editor and baseball reporter.
Yeah, for real. So, softball. They are 18-3 now on the season after sweeping Missouri State. And it's just incredible because this is their best start ever in program history. Their best before was 17-3. They did that 2 times. I believe it was in 2022 and 2004. Both times they lost their 21st game. But they won it this time. So this is the best start ever for WKU softball. And I just want to say, Amy Tudor has kind of went off. She's kind of going crazy with this team because, I mean, they're obviously a great team, but you have a conversation with her after, and it's clear how impressive her mind is with softball. She actually, I don't know. It was really interesting to talk to her after because this team is just really, really good. And it all started with that first game where they were down 3-0 at the bottom of the 7th inning. And I was like, oh, wow. So this is my first softball game. I may have cursed them by sitting in and watching this game because their offense was non-existent. They only had 3 hits, and part of it was Missouri State. Their pitcher was absolutely going crazy. Pretty much just set down every hitter that tried. And it was actually wild because they got 5 hits in the bottom of the 7th after getting 3 in the previous 6 innings to win the game. And it was like 3 straight hits that scored over and over. It ended up with a walk-off from my goat, my personal goat, Jenna Blanton. Jenna Blanton kind of went crazy. She was 7 for 10 at the plate, and she had a home run and 3 RBIs. It was kind of nuts. That was over the weekend, by the way. But she was the one that kind of got them going, and Erica Hogue, once again, did her magic. She was doing her thing.
She was doing her thing.
Like, every single game, it just feels, because she had that no-hitter, obviously, and that was insane. But then this game, outside of, like, she gave up 2 home runs in the first inning, and I was like, oh, here we go. But then after that, she settled in, only gave up 1 more run after that for the rest of the game, locked in, and they got that win. And then Rylan Smith, it's crazy to watch her play because she, like, talks to herself on the mound, and I already knew about that. Like, having to watch it in person, like, there were a lot of times when, like, the ump would make, like, a very questionable call, or, like, a lot of people in the crowd would be upset with it, and then, like, Rylan Smith would, like, start going at it with herself, and then the guy next to me was like, oh, so is she talking to the ump right now? I was like, no, she's just talking to herself. And it's crazy how much of, like, a self-motivator she is, because she does that and then will immediately throw a strike. And the amount of energy she brings to the game is insane. She'll constantly just be like, yes, and bringing some energy. But she went crazy, had a season-high 8 strikeouts in Game 2, allowed 0 runs and just 2 hits in her appearances. She got pulled, I believe. Or no, she ended the game because it was a run rule in the second game. They ended up winning that one 8-0. And then the third game, our sports reporter Peyton Reid covered this one, and they won that one 6-1. And once again, Rylan Smith was out there, showed up in relief this time, balled out immediately, saved him from a potential situation where Missouri State could have come back. But softball just kind of going off right now.
Heck yeah.
Softball, yeah. We love to hear it.
We love to hear it. We love to see successful teams here on the Hill.
Yeah. We love it when they're successful. And softball, they are on a crazy run right now. Right after baseball had their great season.
Yeah.
A year after. Speaking of baseball.
This week they went technically 2-2 with the midweek loss to Cincinnati. 5-2, that game ended. And like Reardon said at the end of the game, it was a close game. They were level with them until the 7th, where they scored a run in the 7th, a run in the 8th, and a run in the 9th to take the win. But, I mean, it's a Power 4 school. Cincinnati's like one of the top contenders for the Big 12 this year. And I really did appreciate what Reardon said at the end. He said he was pretty confident in what they were producing. And looking forward, he's really excited to what they have in store, because he did, like I said in the past, he did make a really impressive non-conference schedule this season, because in the past he has not. So he wanted to give the team, some struggles early on in the season so they can find their footing, so that for conference play they're ready to go up against anything. And that Cincinnati games definitely showed where some struggles are.
Kentucky as well.
And
they've competed in all those games as well.
And the struggle is the bullpen. Which, in reality, is like, but also, it's a midweek game. So, Reardon's not going to use, like, his best bullpen pitchers. He's not going to use his starters for the weekend. So, he is kind of pushing off, like, his best pitchers in those games, in those midweek games, because they are the midweek games. They're not as important as those weekend series where they play 3, they play 4. So that definitely has a lot to do with it. but I think the base of the bullpen is good. It's just that it's not as deep as it has been in the past couple of years.
And is it deep, like, relative to, like, the conference USA, or is it more of, like, a deep compared to, like, some of the teams they've faced in the preseason, like Cincinnati and Kentucky?
Yeah, I think it'll be as deep as some other Coosa teams, but it's definitely not as deep as these big schools.
Yeah.
Even Indiana State, who has made the NCAA tournament 4 times in the past 10 years and 6 times since 2010. Like, this is a really impressive program that just came to Nick Dennis Field, and Western did take 2 from them. So that was a really impressive win to Raritan, being able to get the series win against a really impressive program. Just made the conference tournament 2 years ago, won the conference, went to the NCAA tournament. So this is kind of a program that's kind of leveled with us right now, I would say, since Western just went to the NCAA tournament, Indiana went the year before. So these were 2 programs that
was a measuring stick.
Yeah, it was definitely a measuring stick for Raritan, especially since it is the last series before conference.
Ooh.
So, but yeah, game 1 was pushed back from 3 to 6, and what made it even longer was that it went to 10 innings.
Oh.
So that was a long night. That's 6-5 in the 10th. 6-5 and 10. No, Western had the lead into the 9th. Lost the lead in the 9th. Bullpen struggles once again. But you know what can help out a good bullpen is a good batting lineup. And that was shown in the 10th inning in this game, where the first 2 batters of the inning got on base, and Parker Coley, who has not been healthy like 100% this season, but Raritan's been putting him in these situations because he knows how clutch he is. He knows that he's had this experience of tough situations, and he decided to just hit one to right field and get the RBI single, and get that game-winning RBI for game 1 at the pitch dark of Bowling Green, Kentucky.
That was a big game.
That was a really big game because, I mean, yeah, the bullpen gave it up in the 9th, but they didn't give it up in the 10th.
Yeah.
They kept it level.
Would you say that's been a problem this year for, like, closing out games? Or is it mostly just, like, specific situations?
This is a struggle that I saw against BYU, especially. Gave up a save in the first game of the season. Let them get another run in the second game in the 9th. And they have given a lot of runs in, like, the 9th and the 8th. But they've still won the games. But it is a struggle once you come against, like, these conference opponents where they want to win a lot more than, like, some of these other, like, non-conference games because they are so much more important. So, I mean, right now I guess it's okay. But looking in the future, you are not going to be wanting to get up these runs as a team. Game 2 did not go according to plan for Western, losing 11-6.
What happened, David?
I guess it would start with the pitching again. They got 14 hits, 4 walks, a 5-run second inning, and then from the 3rd to 8th inning, they gave up a run and at least 1 run in those innings. So that's 5 straight innings with runs.
Yeah, so that's not how you win baseball.
Which is not how you win baseball games. But they try to come back in the 9th. They scored 3. Oh. Not enough, though.
Yeah, because they were down by 8.
Because 3 plus 3 is 6. Yeah. And that is not greater than 11.
This is true.
This is true.
Math with David.
However, I think another struggle in this game was runners on base. They left 10 runners on base in this game.
Oh.
Which has always been a struggle for WK baseball since I've covered them. I mean, last season even, it was a struggle, and they had arguably one of the greatest baseball seasons here.
Yeah.
And left on base was a struggle. It didn't seem to affect them as much early on, and then they get to the NCAA tournament, and they leave like 20 people on base and lose out. So this is a trend you don't want to see early on in the season, knowing that it has affected them later on in the season. So they're gonna have to figure something out. It's definitely more towards the bottom of the lineups.
Yeah.
Job to do that, since they are the ones that are hitting with runners on more than the people that are on the top. So And Raritan has said that it is a strong batting lineup 1 to 9, but he is not committed to his 1 through 9 yet.
It makes sense though. It's early on in the season. You don't really figure that out until late, but it is troubling to see them have that issue.
Yeah.
Already early on the season. They definitely carried that over.
Yeah.
From last season.
They finished the tournament and they were like, we're going to continue.
We're actually going to keep doing
We're actually going to keep on striking out with a person on first base because we don't need it.
But they came back.
In Game 3.
Yep.
And in Game 3, it was a 3-3 deadlock after 6 innings, which was actually a really impressive game from both teams. Like, Western got 2 runs in the 4th. Indiana came back after the 6th inning, and it's 3-3. And you see just both coaches in the dugouts just drawing up on their paper who they're bringing in next to keep this, because it was the series decider. So this was a really big game for both of them. However, Raritan kept his trust in Jude Favela, who came in during Game 1 and only pitched 1 out before being taken out. And then before that, last week against Kentucky, he pitched to 1 batter and then was taken out.
Oh.
So, he put his trust in Favela for Game 3 after the 6th, and he was looked pretty well on the mound. Gave up 1 run, but had 4 strikeouts. So it's nice to see that he put a lot of trust in a pitcher who has had struggles, but still had that confidence in him going into a tied game, basically. So
yeah,
that was
definitely big.
Yeah,
to have trust in your guys especially after so much difficulty.
And so Western decided that it was time to stop being tied in the 7th and got bases loaded after back-to-back hit by pitches, which is rarely seen.
Yeah.
But that got bases loaded, and that's where we circle back to Parker Coley with bases loaded, hits a bases-clearing double to make it 6-3.
Did they just drop the ball, or did it go over past the...
He just rocked the ball.
Oh, okay.
It just went over the outfield.
Oh,
so,
gotcha.
Yeah. So the hit by pitch brought in 1 run, so made it 4-3. And then his 3 RBI double made it 7-3. And
okay.
This is a player that Raritan wants healthy by conference. I think it was Rob Fournier on his staff that said that Parker Coley's kind of like the motor of the team. He keeps them going, but he's not healthy yet. Raritan post-game after Game 3 said he's about 85 to 90% healthy. So they're trying to get him there in order to get ready for conference play, which starts next weekend.
Yeah.
Next weekend, FIU will be hitting up Nick Dennis Field for a 3-game series.
Sounds exciting.
Hey, it is exciting. One more thing for WKU baseball. Lane Arroyos extended his on-base streak to 16.
Hey.
He's still the only Hilltopper to reach base on every single game this season. He went 4 for 11 this weekend with 4 RBIs and 3 walks. Next week, EKU coming to Nick Dennis Field, and then FIU coming to Nick Dennis.
Man, EKU for both teams next week, by the way.
And that's fire. And
And they're going to win both of them.
And they're going to rock them.
Yeah. Softball and baseball are both looking really good. Softball off to a best start in program history. Baseball off to a really good start with a really tough non-conference schedule. But now both teams, softball already went into Conference USA play. Baseball is just about to start it. We're starting to get to the really good part of the regular season for both teams.
We've made it away from the rind and we're hitting the fruit.
Yes,
the
exactly.
juicy part.
So baseball and softball are taking over the hill.
They are going to take over.
It's their season now.
It is their season.
Yeah. But
we'll see.
We shall see.
We shall see.
It's looking good. It's looking promising for both
It is
teams.
looking promising.
All right,
Raritan and Tudor taking us to the promised land.
Yes, this is actually very true. This is facts actually. I think I might have to kick Adriana off softball coverage because that was really fun to watch them for 2 games this weekend. All right, so with that note,
with that one,
yeah, me and Peyton are going to take over. We're going to talk about sports around the hill, so tennis, track, and field. So take it away, guys. Thank you, David and Austin. It's me again. I'm here again for my third segment of the day.
You thanked yourself. I'm glad.
I know.
I'm glad you did.
I did a good job in that segment, I thought. I did a pretty good. David, he was all right,
yeah,
I guess. But now we're going to talk about sports around the hill.
Yes.
So we haven't talked too much about, some of the other sports going on right here. So we're going to start with track.
Take it away, Austin.
Man, but track actually had a great weekend at the Conference USA Championships. They had stellar weekend. There was their best finish since 2017 for women's. They went and they finished 7th in Conference USA. So really good finish. I mean, if you don't really know track as well, you could be like, 7th, that's not very good. But in track, it's very different in how you finish because it's more of like a team effort. It's not really like this is one small collection. Yeah. Like this is your entire team that's doing this.
Yeah.
So very, very hard to finish higher. 7th place, men's finished 5th. Very good finish for them. 16 total PRs or personal records this weekend. Yeah. So everyone brought their A game at the right time. There were also 2 medalists as well. And it all started with Brooke Greenwell was in the women's final for the mile. And she balled out, set a PR. Trevor Hudnall claimed 4th and set a new personal record of 4:08. So 4:08, I don't know how many people know track as well, but that is a minute per lap.
That's insane.
Pretty much. Like that is an absolutely insane time. Men's 60 hurdles, Van Thrasher, Thrashner, fantastic name, by the way. Great name. And Ricardo Smith, they both balled out. Thrasher took 7th, Smith had 8th, and he had a PR as well. So a lot of everyone was kind of bringing their A game into this tournament.
Which is what you want to see on a conference meet.
Yeah, and that's how it usually is in track too, is you build up the entire season. Every meet you get better. Sometimes you take a step back. But in the final one, you always, that's always your best one because everything's on the line. And, I mean, for a lot of them, they're going to be going to the NCAA championships. And that's going to be on, I believe, March 13th.
So coming up as the time of this recording.
Coming up very soon. So
next week.
Yep, in Arkansas, by the way, is where the NCAA championships are taking place. So it'll be very interesting there for them as well. Just a couple more things. 2 Hilltoppers earned all Conference USA on Saturday. The men finished with 60.5 points. That's also their best since 2017 as well. So both men's and women's had their best since 2017 in terms of finish. So this is a very good team that can actually make some waves in the NCAA championships in Arkansas.
Yeah, it'll be exciting to see what they can do, especially, I mean, that's 9 years ago, so. Yeah, and switching over now, women's tennis, they're 8-7 on the season so far. Had 2 matches this past week. They beat Tennessee State 6-1. And then they lost on Thursday, 6-1 to Ball State. In the loss to Ball State, they had one player win their match, Elizabeth Sobieski. I don't know if I'm saying the last name right, but she won their only singles match. And then I don't believe anyone won in doubles either. And then against Tennessee State, a very successful outing, which I think improved their Tennessee State win. I think that was 3 matches in a row that they won. So pretty good, obviously, before the Ball State loss. But they won 2 doubles and lost one of the double matches. And then in singles, they won 5 of the 6. So they're doing pretty good. Obviously, still trying to figure out what pairings go best together in doubles, and then singles just finding out who can match up with who come that matchup. But they open up Conference USA play this next weekend against Sam Houston, which will be exciting to see how they do. But 8-7 so far, have had to play really tough teams. Had to play Vanderbilt, who's always been really good in women's tennis, and a couple other teams. But if they can improve from the Tennessee State win and other previous wins, they're going to have a pretty successful season. And if they can start on a good note against Sam Houston in conference play, it'll be a good season, and I think they'll be capable to go far in conference.
Yeah, you see the record at 8-7 on the season. You're like, okay, well,
yeah,
it doesn't look that impressive, but they have had like a very difficult schedule, like you said. So it's good to see them, in conference play this next. You said it was this upcoming weekend.
Yes, this upcoming weekend.
That'll show a lot about where this team is and kind of where they can go in the future. And
conference is the most important thing. You always want to be the best team in your conference.
Yeah.
Obviously, before conference, it's important just to see where your team is. But if you're successful in conference, then you can play anyone, really.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I think that's it for the College Heights Huddle this week. We won't have an episode next week, but we will be back in a few weeks. I think the last week of March. I don't know. I don't even know what today is. But thank you so much for listening or watching, and we'll see you guys next time.